Hello, lovely people. What like books? And I flatter myself like me a little bit. How are you all doing? Welcome back very warmly and lovingly to The Library is Open. So I hope you've brought your library cards, my darlings. How are we all? So I thought I'd do a little bit of a life update. Also featuring books because they are a big part of my life. And just to sort of explain why I've been a little bit, I don't want to say AWOL from the channel because it's only been a week, but I didn't upload last week, and you may notice I haven't got round to completely responding to all the lovely, beautiful and really well-valued comments that you've dropped on my videos. So I do apologise for that. It's just been a really full-on couple of weeks. Good full-on, not bad sort of trauma full-on or anything like that. So I just thought I'd check in and say thank you for that, and also let you know what I've been up to that has meant that I am, you know, sort of in this state of disarray. Yeah, hi, I'm filming this on Bank Holiday Monday in the UK, the 30th of August. Can you believe it's going to be September? Well, this week when I'm posting this. I read somewhere 4 months till 2022. Which is like, I'm still processing 2020. Like 2019 is but a wispy dream still over there somewhere in the kind of ether, and it's going to be 2022. But I do sort of want to say, in a way, if I can be, you know, a little bit cringy about it, like, well done us, as a world, even though I know we've had horrific losses and really, really trying times because of several reasons, not just the pandemic, but also the, you know, the kind of horrifying state of the world at the moment. I wonder if there'll ever be a point when I'll say the non-horrifying state of the world. I really hope there will be. But, you know, that remains to be seen, doesn't it? But, you know, well done us who have got through that, and that's no mean feat, and we should congratulate ourselves for that, I believe. It's my watermelon Volvic. I'm not promoting. Why did I just promote? They don't give me money. But I'm really obsessed with this at the moment. Watermelon across the board. I've been using a lot of like watermelon products in drag for some random reason, like a setting spray and some stuff from Elf, like lip glosses and lip masks and stuff like that, which one of my friends and colleagues has mercilessly mocked me for, saying, you do know that Vaseline exists. I don't think that's vegan though, is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. So, and this one definitely is. So watermelon, big thing at the moment. So what's been going on? Yeah, okay, so I've shaved my head, as you will probably have seen from photos if you follow me on social media. This is my hair now. I don't wear wigs. I did that primarily because I don't really know. It occurred to me, and I decided I really wanted to lose my hair again. What's been interesting is that a lot of people have been like, oh, you look so different, but sort of pre-pandemic, pre-lockdown, this is always what I looked like, you know. So I suppose that just shows that how if you see someone's change in appearance incrementally, you sort of just get used to it as you go along, don't you? And then you don't remember what they were like before. But I'm loving this. It saves me so much time in the mornings, which is lovely. And also, I don't know, I have this weird thing about my appearance. I really like, teeth notwithstanding, I really like angles and clean lines and stuff. I know that sounds really, really strange, but that's probably why it annoys me so much when my eyebrows go a bit dodgy in drag, because I like symmetry and cleanliness to both my makeup and my appearance. So that's, I don't know what kind of weird pathology that is, but hey ho. What else since last we spoke? I have new ink, which is lovely. I have this gorgeous creature, hope you can see that properly, by my lovely tattooist and friend Rylan, who works at KEWPIE Tattoos in Stockport. I adore this. I've really wanted this for ages. It's the word limp on my wrist, which I just love as a sort of reclaiming of that kind of queer stereotype of limp wrists. It's like, I think limp wrists are fabulous, and he originally designed it in some different colours, but I asked him to do yellow, green and pink because they're kind of Miasma's signature colours, which I love. And the other one and I got this so that I wouldn't have an uneven number of tattoos, and it was the same session because it was mostly text, so I thought I may as well do them all at once. is this quote, the resolute urgency of now, which is a lyric from Tonight by the Smashing Pumpkins, from the Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness album, which is one of my favourite albums of all time. And also, this is a paraphrase from a Martin Luther King quote, I believe. But I just think it's a really powerful phrase as a sort of self-reminder that, you know, very little that needs to change, be that on a personal level, a societal level, a global level, should happen in slow motion. If there is a resolute urgency to it, then it should happen now. And I know that can't always be because of the systems we have in place, to which I very overly simplistically say, change them then. You know, I really do believe in the resolute urgency of now, so that's why I got that. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. On my last vlog, I spoke about Killer Queen, which I was just about to go into rehearsals with SODOMITE, details below, and that opens next week and runs from the 7th to the 9th of September in Manchester at Hidden Nightclub. We've done 2 weeks of rehearsals now, which have gone beautifully. Basically, we finished the whole show. I say finished. The shows, and like any art, is never finished. You just run out of time. But we've kind of gone through the whole show in terms of, first in sort of a wide overview of what the shape of the show would look like, and then secondly, in the second week, we got much more specific about the choices that we were making, the moments that needed to be drawn out and made something of, you know, intention and tactic and motive for the actors, so they feel secure, and then also wrapping that in a beautiful little bow of storytelling, so it has motifs and it has a form that feels consistent in the way it runs, you know, so it feels complete. It's not a set of anecdotes, and this is the same for every play, by the way, although every director works differently. This is a kind of broad church, if you will, not the series, not the TV series Broadchurch with the lovely Olivia Colman. But yeah, so we're there now, and I'm about to start week 3, which will be running the show and giving notes, which is basically, if you're not familiar, the actors run the show as if it was the show. I watch, take notes, give them notes. We work the notes to fine-tune any moments that aren't quite working or landing, and then they run the show again. I note it again, and so on and so forth. And often directors will do that during the run of the show as well. I probably, because it's only on for 3 nights this time around, although more later, I hope, fingers crossed. If the Arts Council can be, can sort of step in and help us maybe take the show further. But what I might do is only do that if there are sort of fundamental issues or anything goes wrong. I'm really keen that the actors have a full sense of ownership of the show without me sort of scribbling constantly. So I've been doing that. And also, but what I've also been doing, which I haven't mentioned before, is rehearsing for a performance at the Happy Fest, which is the Victoria Wood, the official Victoria Wood Festival, which takes place in Bury and around Ramsbottom. That sort of area, that's where Victoria Wood's from. And I was hired to perform in the show, which is one of Victoria Wood's classic comic songs, and that will happen on the 4th and the 5th of September in and around Bury. And it's one of her sort of best loved comedy songs from the As Seen on TV shows. If you're not sure who Victoria Wood is, she's a British comedian who very sadly passed away a couple of years ago, who's just an amazingly funny woman who really spoke to a northern working class boy. She was phenomenal and her output was formidable. She's one of my biggest influences, I would say, in acting, comedy, writing. She had just a beautiful turn of phrase. Do a little Google on her if you're not sure who she is. Victoria Wood. Anyway, she's from Bury, which is actually not that far from where I live at the moment. And actually, her first boyfriend, I read somewhere, was from my hometown. So that's exciting. But yeah, so we're doing that, and I'm playing the role that in the song was sung originally by Julie Walters, and the song has never been performed since it aired on TV in 1987, because the rights to the material are owned by a foundation, and they're very sort of, you sort of get literary estates that have to okay things before you're allowed to reproduce them. It's like that. But anyway, we were commissioned to do this piece, and I'm performing in it, and I've also designed the costumes, so keep your eye on my social media for that after the event. And that's just, it's so beautiful, it's so special to be working not only with five actor creators who are just wonderful Northern actors, makers, one of whom taught me many years ago as well, and that's just lovely, isn't it, to go from being somebody's student to being their collaborator, which is gorgeous. But it's such a privilege, as I say, because Victoria and her work had such humanity and warmth, and really spoke to a world that I recognise and recognised that wasn't being showcased and celebrated many other places at the time. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Spoiler, I'm on a mobility scooter, which is just epic. They are so fast, can I just say. They are a lot faster than they look when you see people using them, and it's a little bit scary, so I've had to practice with that. But so not too many spoilers, but if you are interested, Google the Happy Festival Bury, or just the Victoria Wood Festival, and have a little look at the amazing programme of events that are going to be on. So there's that on the Friday and Saturday, which is this week coming, and then the day after, no, it's the Saturday, Sunday, sorry, and then the Monday I go into tech rehearsals at the actual venue for Killer Queen, so you can see why it's been proper full on. And then obviously it's September, so I have to start planning again for teaching and so on and so forth, so it's all just a bit crazy train, as it were. But why be happy when you can be busy? No, I'm joking. I'm very happy. I'm quite tired, but in some ways. Of course. Before I carry on, of course you will have seen, or you may have seen, the Vegan Queens have also been working. We went to London to film a really exciting project with $1 Million Vegan. Which should be coming fairly soon, I believe. And we've got a vlog about that. Well, my Asma and Gem and I have a vlog about that, which I will link in the description down below if you haven't caught up with that. So that's marvellous. And that was in the middle of a week of 2 different rehearsals. So beautiful time, which the vlog will explain much better than I can now. But again, just another bit of grist to the mill, as it were. But as I say, yes, although I'm tired, it's the good kind of tired, where it's not exhaustion. It is it's that tiredness that comes from having worked on something and thrown your effort into it, which is just beautiful. And it's a satisfied tired. Can I say that? I think I can. Well, I'm going to, and I have, so so there we go. Oh yes, it was also Manchester Pride this weekend, which has been increasingly enjoyably anarchic, because a lot of the community have kind of woken up now to the kind of corporate greed that has been seeping insidiously over the years into Pride, large scale Pride events. Not the kind of a lot of the events that the Vegan Queens perform at are not commercial prides per se. So although we are working for the event is primarily for the community. There are prides who are charging extortionate amounts of money, bringing in lots of money, and then not giving money to charity. This year, particularly at Manchester Pride, announced that it would be giving less than 3% to charity, and no longer funding the condoms and lube scheme through the Lesbian and Gay Foundation, and also that it wouldn't be donating to the Albert Kennedy Trust, which is the homeless LGBTQIA charity, and also the George House Trust, which is the AIDS HIV LGBTQIA charity. So you know, massive uproar in the community, people refusing to buy tickets and just entering the event anyway because it's a public right of way and can't be stopped. You can't be stopped from doing that because that's against the law, and also organising counter protests, which were massively successful. And I think it's about time that we as a minority group, but also minority groups generally, start remembering that we are in control of our narratives, not corporations and not sponsors and not people whose sole purpose is to make money off the back of our struggle. We can say no and we must. That's all I will say about that. But anyway, so that was there, and I was promoting the show alongside that kind of ethos at Manchester yesterday, because it is made by and for the LGBTQIA community, and it's a celebration of our culture, nightlife, politics, history, you know, and yes, although we charge, it is a fair price for tickets, and we are paying every single one of our LGBTQIA creative people a wage for their labour. So I just want to get that out there. But I have, would you believe, found time to do a bit of reading as well, and I'm reading very variedly this past couple of weeks. I'm reading slower, which is probably understandable given everything I've just mentioned, but I just wanted to give you a little insight into what I am currently pouring through. So firstly, I'm reading this, which is just the most beautiful cover, and I'll be honest and own why. It's because this is Raybearer, which I think I've featured before, by Jordan Ifueko. I believe that's the correct pronunciation. I had a look, but if I'm not, please do correct me, and I'm very sorry. Ifueko, yeah, I think so. And the reason I started reading this because I've had it for a while because I like the cover, and there was an offer on in Waterstones. But the second one just came out, and the cover for that was even more beautiful, so I just had to buy that as like a sort of, you know, do you ever do that thing in the week where you just buy yourself a little something? Not ridiculous, but just to sort of like steam through the week with a little treat. So I thought I'm going to have to start reading it because I want to get to that one. And actually, it's really good. It's set in a kind of fantasy land that contains several realms, and the realm is ruled, the overall land is ruled by an emperor who has a court of people who are connected by Ray. In childhood, they are co-opted into this court, and they all connect through their minds, through the Ray. And that kind of sustains them, but also it means that if they wander far from it, they get ill, and then they are sent to live elsewhere until it's their time to reign, sort of thing. And one of the characters, the one we follow in this, Tari Sai, is from one of the regions called Swana, and her mother, no spoilers, captures a spirit, basically, who grants wishes, sort of like a djinn. And the djinn also fathers the child, and then the child is told that like the mother's third wish is that when her child Tarasi, yes, the pronunciations are at the back for context, I just don't want to get them wrong. Tarasai, sorry, which apparently means behold what is coming, which is lovely, is she's told that her third wish is that when she is accepted onto the new Emperor's Council, she has to kill him. That's her wish, and this is her fight to not give in to those instincts and to battle against, you know, what appears to be her willed for destiny. But it's really, really nice. It's really interesting. It has a great culture. It speaks a lot about the kind of traditions of storytelling from Africa and such, which is one of the sort of fundamentals pre-Greek theatre where storytelling tradition comes from. Importantly to note that, so that we're not oversimplifying that or erasing people's cultural identity. That's so important. And it's a kind of alt history version of that in a way. And I'm really, really enjoying it. There's a lot of stuff about magic, and each person who's on the council has a hallow, which is like a special gift. So our protagonist in this can read memories, basically, and remove them. Other people can control people with their mind. Other people can see weakness in the body or the head, or, you know, things like that. And then the emperor cannot be, the person they're all connected to can't be killed once each person joins the council, except by old age or murder, I think, or by one of his own. I think that's the gist. But I'm really enjoying this. I'm about halfway through, so I am going to crack on with it this week, hopefully on the train while I'm back and forth. But I think this is YA, but actually, I think anybody can read and enjoy this. What I do love is one of these books on the back. I've noticed this happening a lot, which sort of tells you what it's about. And it says here, empires, wishes, curses, and betrayal. So I think they're a really good key for like sort of giving an overview. If you're into those kind of things, you will enjoy this. For my sort of easy read, I've been reading this series, not easy read, that sounds very rude. My comfortable read, let's say. I've been reading Caroline G. Hart's Cozy Mysteries, Death on Demand, which is set on an island where there's a woman called Annie who runs a mystery bookstore that she's inherited from her uncle. And then murders happen in the community. And the first one was Death on Demand. There was also Design for Murder and Something Wicked. And this is the fourth one, that's what I'm up to now, which is called Honeymoon with Murder, in which our sort of lead character gets married, but at the same time her shop manager, Ingrid, has a big argument with this guy who is a kind of local nuisance who spies on people and then blackmails them, and then he's found dead and she disappears. So it's down to Annie and her new husband Max to solve the mystery. And this was published in 1989. What's interesting is my grandma has two of these that she was always trying to foist on me when I was younger, and I never had any interest in them until I discovered the series for myself when I was looking through. There's a website called, I think it's called Cozy Crime or something, obviously, basic. Stuart, come on. That I looked, and it's great because you can sort of search by protagonist or protagonist's profession, what kind of theme, where it's set and things like that. So as a big fan of Cozy Crime, that's great because, you know, I can say something like, I would like a novel that is set in a donut shop in, I don't know, Antarctica, featuring a librarian protagonist, and there will probably be one. So these are really good fun. They're really witty as well, and Caroline G. Hart has a great turn of phrase, and I just love the covers as well, in that sort of 80s crime book style-y. So I love that. Yesterday I picked up a copy of this as I was waiting to do work things. The Transgender issue by Shon, Faye, An Argument for Justice. This feels like it's going to be a really important text because, as Shon mentions in her kind of intro to the book, this is not a memoir of her experiences as a trans woman. This is an argument for reparative justice for the trans community in a way that will also benefit other people and minorities, and it's about looking at the things that the community have gone through and experienced and continue to go through and experience. I mean, I don't think you need to be a specialist to realise that the trans community is massively under attack fairly regularly and disgracefully, in my opinion, through the media, through politics, through pressure groups, through the so-called, you know, trans exclusionary LGB groups, who, by the way, do not speak for me or any community that I'm aware of. So I've only just started this, so I don't know exactly how it's going to be, but I do know it's been teased for a long time by queer book sellers and stuff, and I think it's going to be very important to read. What I really loved about the introduction, which I have read, is that Shon sort of says that she is talking about, when she uses the umbrella trans, and it sounds really basic, this, like I should have got that before, but she's talking about all, not only trans men and women, but also anybody who falls outside of the binary, so non-binary people, genderqueer people, gender non-conforming people who don't agree that their gender identity matches their biological sex as it was assigned at birth. And I sort of, in a way, I'd never kind of really sat down and interrogated that in those circumstances that I am a part of the trans community. In a different way, obviously, and experiencing it differently, because I am aware that while I am non-binary, that I do pass as male or read as male, so nobody will necessarily ask me, albeit femme male, but nobody will ever sort of question that, or well, they, you know, there are people that won't like it, but you know, and I hadn't really thought about it in that kind of, again, broad church of thinking. So thank you, Faye, for that, and for continuing to allow me to think about that, as I know a lot of us are. So lovely. I'm also listening to a book on audio as well, which is my bedtime listen. And also sometimes I put it on in the bath as well if I just want a little bit of a soak. I just listen to a chapter, and it's by Victoria Gilbert, and I'm trying to remember the title of it off the top of my head, and I can't look it up on my audio app because I'm filming on my phone. But it is called I can't remember, but I'll put it in the description. But it's really good. It's at a sort of book themed guest house called Chapters, and obviously there's been a murder. I don't want to oversimplify the plots of these, but I mean that is essentially what cozy crime is. It's formulaic, and that's why we love it. Victoria Gilbert is the author, who also has a series about the Blue Ridge Library, which is another cozy crime series set in, funnily enough, a library. And I really do enjoy her work because it feels smart, but not in an obnoxious way, if that makes any kind of sense. So you're enjoying the kind of slightly playfulness of knowing what the genre is, and going for those tropes, but also slightly lampooning them as well. So I really, really enjoy that. As I say, I'll put that in the description, and I'm very sorry that I can't remember it off the top of my head. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Proper videos will resume soon. I don't want to make any promises. I have pre-filmed some content, so I may put that out. So I will still have long hair in that. But I will try and get back on track. But as I say, it's just been a super busy time at the moment. And I hope you don't hate me for that. So I'm really sorry. And I do appreciate your support, your views, and also your comments, which I do read every single one of. And eventually will reply to when I get a little bit of, excuse me, downtime. You shouldn't burp off water, should you? What's that all about? You know? But for now, my loves, because this is nearly half an hour, so put your library card somewhere safe for me. Do me a favour. And the library is now officially closed. But please, please, please continue to look after yourselves and be safe. And let me know what you're reading. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if you're having a wee. Don't let me know if you're having a wee. I don't need to know that. That's on you. But no, let me know how you're all getting on. Sending much love to you. Oh, and don't forget our book club. The next book club is in October, and the details of that, as always, are in the description. If you do want to join us, info on how to do that is also provided below in the description. So until next time, much love to you all. Thank you for being here, and stay safe. Mwah.